Well, hi everybody. This is Brad Farwell, Select Market Services, and I'm happy to welcome you all to the Wendy Kirkland webinar. Before we get started, we just got a couple of housekeeping things to take care of. When you're trading stocks or options, only trade with risk capital. There is a risk of loss as well as a risk of gains. This is a boilerplate. I'm sure you've all seen this before. And let's get started. I would like, in fact, I'm excited to welcome Wendy Kirkland again. She's a true dynamo in the industry. She's got over 15 years of experience in trading. She's the author of several best-selling books, and she has a very unique story. She was running a very successful uh, shop in North Carolina. It was a gift shop, and I didn't know until recently that she was a an artist and a sculptor. But anyway, she and her husband ran this gift shop for over 15 years, and it was destroyed by a massive flood caused by Hurricane Ivan. And this evidently was an event that happens every 100 years. So I mean, just her luck. She it was destroyed. She had all of their money in it. This is their retirement. This is what they were counting on to get them through their golden years, so to speak. And she could have lost her house. She lost all of her retirement income. And she had to do something. Well, a good friend of hers told her about option trading. And she studied. She went online, studied, and she was a very voracious reader. She read everything that she could about option trading, experimented, went through the school of hard knocks, so to speak, and became a very successful trader. And we are happy to have her here today. Uh, Her track record, again, over 20 years in experience. She takes concepts, and this is something that is unique to Wendy, in that she not only will teach you how to fish, or I'm sorry, will only not only give you the fish and tell you the trades to make, but she also has a passion for teaching, and you know she creates what is a complex thing to a lot of people and makes it very simple and understandable and repeatable. So you can take these and just do it over and over and over again and have control of your financial destiny. So, again, we're really, really excited. And, well, without further delay, let's pass it over to Wendy. Wendy, you there?
I am here. Hi, Brad. I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Well, that's great.
Um, a couple of things we're going to talk about today are your couple of your services that you have. There are some of your top performing services, and then also uh, the fact that you really enjoy teaching people. You really also enjoy showing people how it's done, so they can have control of their financial destiny. God forbid if something happened to someone, it's great to have a skill that is teachable. And the thing about education is, once somebody learns something, it's hard to unlearn it. You know what I mean? It's they have that skill and they can go out and they can really basically control their financial destiny. But in the meantime, they're getting the trades. They are getting the things that can bring them in immediate income, and this actually kind of gives them the best of both worlds. Don't you think?
I totally agree. To me, that is what it's all about. That um, I love teaching, and so I want to provide a service that shows you how it works, where you earn some results from those trades. But at the same time, my desire is for you to be able to learn to trade so that when it fits into your life, whether it's in retirement or days off or whatever, that you then are able to kind of slip into that mode and accomplish it yourself and feel that satisfaction inside that, oh my goodness, I got this, and can have profitable trades that you are generating.
Well, that's fantastic. So can you tell the audience a little bit about what we're doing here today? And
Okay, my goal is to start, and I guess I could bring my slides up. Um, do I click the share screen button here? There, that might
I
do it.
think so, yeah.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. I am gonna move this a little bit more, so give me just a second
Take your
here.
time.
There
Take
we
your time.
go. There we go. Now we got it. So let me just start here at the very, very beginning. Um, that I am going to be talking and sharing the patterns that I learned. And this didn't happen instantly. I'm not sure. There we go. I learned the P3 patterns, and it isn't anything that anybody taught. It is
Okay.
something that I discovered. And so I had charts up, I was looking at indicators and so on, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But all of a sudden, I started seeing, and it's probably because I'm an artist. And so I started seeing patterns on the charts. And they're first off, the ones that I discovered were the bullish patterns, and I call those the P3 patterns. And then from there, it went to I goofed and I switched the indicators around, and then realized the patterns look different, and I realized, oh my goodness, these are bearish patterns. So then when I set up the charts, I kind of did them both so that there was the bullish patterns on the bottom and the bearish patterns on the top. But as I kind of proceeded, I realized that these patterns appear on every single equity, every single ETF. They appear on every time frame chart. Uh, there are bullish adult patterns, and they conceive the bearish patterns. And then there are bearish adult patterns that conceive the bullish patterns. So I realized that it truly was like a life cycle.
Wow.
And it's just really unusual. And then this special thing. If ever a pattern fails before it becomes an adult, the previous pattern goes right back into that adult stage 100% of the time. And there
No,
is
wait,
not a,
wait. If I may
yeah,
just interrupt you. So 100% of the time, that's something we never hear.
that's what
I
I was
mean,
just going to
a
say. Yes,
100% of the time. Wow.
yes,
And that's incredible.
it really is. And so there are some traders that's kind of just what they look for is I call it the adult stage, but that if truly,
And you discovered this yourself, or I mean,
oh yeah,
no one
yeah,
told, wow. So no
there
one
isn't
told you about that.
anybody else out there that
No one that you know
no, and like I said, I think I attribute it to my background
of.
that
Okay.
I was not raised in a a financial family where my dad or grandpa or whatever, traded the market and so on, that I was an artist. And
Hmm.
so this just kind of connected in a different kind of way. And I think is really, really special. And this is why I love teaching. This is why I'm excited to be here today. This is what I want to share, that this is information that I have written in book that comes with your um, program, so that I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but if you sign up for a program, I'm going to be sending you information that you can consider in taking a trade, but I am also giving you the information to learn to trade on your own.
Hmm. So people don't have to. I mean, so they are going to be getting the actual trades to make. So assuming they know nothing, they're going to be able to trade with you, get your trades, and I mean it's like almost automatic.
Right, right.
Okay.
That I send the information that they could consider trading, where I am telling them the strike price to get into, that this is the time expiration. This is the most that I would suggest that you consider paying to get into the trade. And then they, of course, choose, that
Right.
and they go from there, as far as, oh, I'm going to get one contract, or I'm going to get two contracts, or whatever.
Right. Because you have to be a financial advisor to tell them how much money to put in, and
Sure,
you're a
right,
trader. You're a
exactly.
trader. So
Yeah, right,
so
right,
just
right.
so we're clear, assuming somebody has no experience whatsoever, never done this before, with your alerts, they will be able to do this. They don't need to have it. I mean, it's all, I mean, it's like almost all done for them.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yep.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. And though, circling back again, they also get the information to
Mm.
actually be able to learn. And it's easier sometimes to learn while you're actively involved in trading. And so that's kind of
Ah,
why I don't
yeah.
just write books or something,
Hmm.
that you learn by actually saying, oh, I see why she got in, and that was right. And then this happened, I get it, based on what they've read and are learning.
That makes so much sense. It really does. The simplest
All
solution
right.
is usually the right solution. You know.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. I agree that, I keep saying it, I'm just an everyday person, and my thing is really to share the information and try and share it in an understandable way.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. So I put
So,
together information about the Blitz program. And so if I can take just a minute here
oh,
to talk
absolutely.
about
Take all
what
the time you
that
need.
is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Love to hear it. Yeah.
All right. So um, to share what I discovered, what I talked about just a few minutes ago about what I learned, was that patterns or trades go through a life cycle, that they are in a sense conceived and born, and then they're a toddler and an infant and then a teenager and then an adult. And so in the from the point that they're born until they become an adult, there can be a lot of wobbles, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then eventually you become an adult and you're strong. And so that is what the Blitz program focuses on, is the strength stages. That you
Okay.
don't get in at the very, very first moment that maybe things are going to work out, or maybe it fails. You get in when it gets down to being the adult, when it's really getting ready to move. And it's whether it's getting ready to head up or whether it's getting ready to head down. And so that is what the Blitz program does, and it Blitz zeroes in on equities that are high ATR stocks. That means that they, on average, have big moves. And so this is ADM, Advanced Micro Devices, and in a sense, it just shows what the patterns are focusing on. You can see here that it had this big move down that lasted for months from November until the first part of April, and then it had another big move that would be heading up. Well, the adult stages of the Blitz program would have picked these moves out as to when to get into them and been very, very clear that,
Okay.
okay, did you have a question?
No, no, no. I'm just looking at that. Yeah.
Okay. And so the other, this is another chart. This is again ADM. This is a 60-minute chart. And so this is a shorter time frame chart where the candles now are formed by every hour. And so it also, and I not really going step by step through the patterns yet, takes longer to teach that. But you can see that here, this rise um, through July rose right here. And then it went through a flat period, and then it rose and rose and rose again. Well, this would have been an adult stage that then paused for a while and then went back into an adult stage. And then look at these wobbles here. That would have, you would have lost some money, gone up, down, up, down, up, down. And so that would have been a period that uh, Blitz would have, in a sense, kept you out of. So here's another one. This is a daily chart, again, showing you the swings. This is Costco. You can see here it went way, way up and then down, 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 way, way up, down, and now it's heading up with some wobbles in here. Well, again, the indicators for the Blitz program would help you to zero in on a big rise, zero in on a big drop, rise, drop. So that is the whole point of what Blitz is, that it it keeps you out of the other life cycle stages that maybe would have been down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, until it got into the adult stage where it rose.
Hmm.
I'm going to just show one more chart here. This is a 30-minute chart. Again, you can see the rise here, and then it pulled back for another couple days and gave a good bit back. Here it rose and rose for 4 or 5 days and then pulled back. The strength stage would have been so clear right in here. And that is what the whole program kind of focuses on and what I teach. And this
Wow.
is what I teach you to identify.
And this is 100% of the time. This happens. It's amazing.
Yeah. And well, the 100% part is the fact that um, uh, this actually is an example.
Right.
I'm saying something here, but this would have been a P3.5 pattern. This would have been a bearish pattern that it was dropping, and then it went into a P3 pattern and went into the adult stage. Then here is where this adult stage would have ended. You can see the EMAs crossed down. That would have meant that P3.5 pattern, another one like this over here, would have started and got going, but it failed. It failed, and this one, pattern wise, on the indicators that are down below the chart here, uh, this failed, and so 100% of the time this went back into a very strong adult stage. So this is the 100% part that,
Hmm.
a pattern gets started, becomes an adult, next pattern starts, it fails, then the 100% of the time, the other pattern will, you know, the whether it was P3 or P3 and a half will go back into the adult stage. Is that did I
That
was that
makes, yeah, no,
complicated?
I'm just letting it sink in. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. It is really, really cool. And I love, love, love teaching it. And that's kind of what it's all about for me. So, it's great to be in trades and to have them earn money. And there's, like we started off talking about, there are people that are working jobs and they can't trade right now. But that
Sure.
doesn't mean they're not interested in doing a little study on the weekend or in the evening so that someday they might be able to trade on their own.
Well, let's maybe talk a little bit about that, if we could, about the teaching or the coaching. How does that work?
Well, what comes with the program and all is a manual that really um, goes through everything that I'm kind of sharing. But there's diagrams, there's pictures of the charts, there's pictures of the indicators that show all of that. And am I thinking correctly that there's a special bonus that
Well,
some
yeah,
folks?
I think you mentioned something about a
Yeah,
weekly meetings or
right,
something.
right, right,
How
right.
does that work? Yeah.
Okay. So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the mornings, I do a session where I speak I talk about what's happening today on the charts, and then I go through this all and look at charts and say, look, here the P3 is doing this and doing that, and it's going through the stages. And it's an educational videos that I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And
All
they
right.
last usually about half hour, 45 minutes because like I've been stressing here, to me it's all about sharing the information and trying to get you to a point where you could do it on your own.
Gotcha. Now, if they cannot attend the video, is it can I mean it live? Can they watch it later?
Yes. It
Oh,
is
great.
recorded, it is posted on a site, and they can watch it uh, anytime in the evenings, on the weekend, or whatever. Uh, I think 5 sessions stay up, and then the oldest one drops off, and the newest one, of course, is what kind of boots the last one off. So,
And you're going to include that with this, that they'll have access to that education, not only the manual, but actual with you
right.
actually teaching. Wow.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Well, that's incredible. Anything else?
Well,
Now we
the
got the
the
free
only
strike.
other
Okay,
thing, and
yeah.
and I'm not going to spend very much time on this, and you and I talked about the fact that besides the Blitz program, you said what other service would you like to talk about for a few minutes? And so there is another program that is
Okay.
called First Strike, and it trades slightly differently. It's still the P3 patterns, but it instead of trading the high ATR stocks and zeroing in on the strength stages like Blitz does, First Strike trades only the three that are listed here: the Qs, SPY, and IWM. And it trades the full pattern, the full P3 patterns, the same patterns I've been talking about here through the session so far. But it trades the P3 patterns and P3 and a half patterns on various time frame charts, daily, 60-minute, and 30-minute charts. And so it is focusing, though, on these three equities, on the Qs, which is the NASDAQ, S&P, and the Russell, which is IWM.
Okay.
So, truthfully, these two programs cover the whole market. You have
Okay.
the equities that are worth trading, that have the big moves, the high ATRs, and then you can
Hmm.
trade the
So if they
the
have both
Qs.
of them, that's the ideal
Yeah, yeah. I
place to
mean,
be.
really, you have the whole market covered between these two programs.
Okay, so you got everything. All right, plus
Yep,
the education, plus the manuals. That's incredible, Wendy.
that's right. And I'm tickled about the being able to share the videos, because I think those are really, really a big help to people that are interested in learning.
Yeah, and what a thing that I really admire about you is you make it you can take which for a lot of people could be something that's complicated, and you make it simple. And that is, I think, what makes you so effective as a teacher.
Well, truthfully, you put it in a nutshell. That's my goal, is to, like I said, finances is not something that I had in my background when I started. And so that has been my objective, is to try and put it in everyday language, or be able to describe it in such a way that the everyday person could understand.
Okay. Is there any other slides you wanted to share?
Well, I certainly could do a couple more. The slide that there is the SPY daily. This is IWM, and
Okay.
this has a couple of the indicators on it, and um, these areas right here are what I call the squeezes or the pinches. And you can kind of see here that the PPO is down. Here, this ADX is rising. These lines are pinching or squeezing together. Same right there. Same right here. This one's much wider, but this pattern kind of, when it started flowing out, totally went through the stages that I teach and had this really, really nice rise. So the books, the manuals, the videos that are being made available to you go through all of this, telling you step by step by step. Watch when this line crosses, then expect this to happen, then that to happen, and so on. And if it doesn't happen, then you know 100% what is going to happen next. This is SPY. And again, I was just trying to show you the real easy
Mm-hmm.
beginning patterns where the lines kind of pinch together. And so you can see here, this is rising, this was rising, but they're not the
Yeah.
same. There's no
Mm-hmm.
pinch here.
No.
So that's what I
Like that
start. That's
little.
the very
Yeah.
beginning thing to show. And then when this played out, you can see price went straight up.
Wow. That is something.
Yeah.
I
So,
I I, I know that we have some people that have some questions.
okay, that'd
Um,
be great.
I mean, I didn't mean to interrupt you. As if there's
No,
anything
no, no, no.
else. When
I was going to say, I'm going to slip all the way down to this last.
okay.
So I have
Yes.
talked about this throughout, but this way people can have it make a bigger impression, is the fact that the life cycle that I'm talking about is the pattern is conceived, then it is born, then it is an infant as it's getting started. Then toddler is gaining a little bit of strength. Then the teenage stage, sometimes teenagers, they act out a little bit, maybe they pull back, or do things, but it doesn't destroy the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into the adult stage, and then the pattern ends. And when it ends, that means that the opposite pattern is being born and going into the birth.
Okay,
So
so it ends. I mean, all right. So that's the ending.
the end is the start of the opposite pattern, because I was
Okay, okay.
telling you earlier how one conceives the other. So
Mm-hmm.
when the adult stage here ends, that means the opposite pattern is uh, at the birth stage, because the
Okay.
adult conceives the opposite pattern. So when the birth takes place, then this pattern ends.
All right. So if I can, let's see here.
I
It
was going to
just
say,
kind of
I'm ready for questions if you.
yes. Well, there were a couple of questions, a few. What type of trades are these? I mean, are they? They're all option trades, right?
Right?
This is Sue in Dallas that's asking this. Just what type of trades?
So that they are call and put trades. Calls are what you get into when you think price is going to go up. That would be the P3 patterns. And the P3 and a half patterns are put patterns when you expect or figure that price is going to go down and go through that downward life cycle.
Okay. And here's another one. Can they do this in a retirement account? Well, I can answer that one. Yeah. Yes, it can be done in an IRA. We have a lot of clients trading this in their IRAs. You'd have to talk with your administrator, of course, if you can. I know it's more of a challenge from what we have found if they're doing it in a 401k, but in an IRA, I've never, gosh, 10 years, 11 years, never, I mean, I don't think that I've ever heard of that being a problem. That was Jack in Memphis that asked that. Got another question. Let's see here. How long do Wendy? How long do the trades last? That's being asked by Bob in Des Moines, Iowa.
Um, it
Typically.
depends really on what time frame chart you have used for the trade. So if you were trading a daily chart, you might expect that trade to last a couple weeks. Sometimes they last even longer than that. But if you were trading, just as a bigger example, if you were trading a 30-minute chart, it might last 2 or 3 days. Much depends on what is happening with the overall market and how volatile things are. But uh, it it just really depends on the time frame chart that you have selected with the pattern that you are trading.
Okay. And then let's see. There's one more. Where is it? Fred in Pasadena, California, is asking, is there help? Is there support? If they have any questions, and I can answer that one. Yes, you get email support if you have a questions. There's a support telephone number to call. I can help you out. Nathan can help you out. We've got several people. Of course, you can always email um, Wendy directly, and yeah, so there is support. If I could just wrap it up here, Wendy, just let everybody know what they're going to be getting, once they enroll. And by the way, our phone number here is 310-647-5664. Again, that's 310-647-5664. But once you're enrolled, what you're going to get a welcome aboard email from Wendy and any downloads to get started. You're going to get direct trade alerts and daily market recaps. You'll have access, of course, to our dedicated Kirkland support team and educational materials and resources, very in depth. And of course, weekly newsletter with the valuable insight, and again, that education, access to those three uh, uh, learning sessions, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you'll have all of that will be included. And again, I want to let you know that that phone number is 310 647 5664, or email us at support at smsinc1.com. That's support at smsinc, the number 1.com. And we'll be able to help you out. No high pressure, just we'll tell you how to do it, how it works. Love to have you on board. If you can do it, fine. If not, that's okay. There's no right or wrong answer here. But I just kind of want to wrap it up by thanking you, Wendy, for taking the time out of your valuable day to share this with our listeners. Anything before we conclude this that you would like to add?
Well, just to say that I enjoyed it. That it is my pleasure. This fits right into my goal is to help teach people to trade and be successful on their own, and at the same time provide them with um, trades during the week and so on. So I'm just happy to be here, happy to work with you, and hope you have a great rest of the day.
Well, you too, and thank you. I mean, this has been very, very insightful. I think everybody learned a lot. And again, I thank you so much for taking the time out of your valuable day.
My joy. I appreciate you.
All right, well, take care. And thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. Have a
Bye
blessed
now.
day. Bye bye.